Hi everyone, and welcome to Photomode Unplugged. I'm Ruben, this is Mick, and we are your hosts of this podcast. I don't know. Hi. Is this it?
It will be forever remembered as the way it started.
Yeah, I suck at this intros.
That's why you're doing it, because I would also, but I feel better that I'm not the one doing it.
I promise that at episode 5, it will still be this bad.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you've got to maintain a standard at least.
So what is this, Mick?
So what is it? That's for the fans of the Red Dwarf. What is this? Is a good question. So we are making we are giving ourselves something extra to do because we don't have enough time to do everything else at the minute. This is a podcast. How often? I think weekly. It's definitely weekly.
Yeah, for now.
We're going to commit to a weekly podcast.
Let's try that.
It is about virtual photography. It is about photo mode because literally it's in the name. And what's the idea is just that it's going to be an informal chat, nothing scripted, nothing overly prepared, as we've evidenced already. That really highly rehearsed.
If this were scripted, this would go forever. We would stay here recording this for hours and hours and hours.
No, if it was scripted, we would never start recording because we would never be ready. So for context on that, do you know when we decided that we were going to start doing this?
I want to say a month ago or something.
I had a quick look and it was the middle of August. So the time's gone quite quickly already.
Oh my.
Yeah. But, we've been done. I feel like we've done more work preparing, getting everything to work than what it's necessarily going to be when we start doing it, which is now.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we this is one of the first times in my life where I get the idea with someone and we actually execute it, and we don't keep talking about it in one day we will do it and we never end up doing it. So yeah,
that's kind of, I sort of needed you to make that happen because I would never under my own steam I would never have hosted something like this. I did want to do it and I'm happy to be in it, obviously, because we're here. But I wouldn't have. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be the host. It just doesn't feel like my sort of. I'm not a natural presenter type thing. Perfect example. Do you remember the thing that I had to do for the London Games thing last year? Oh my god, I was so horribly uncomfortable.
But it went okay. As far as I can remember, it went okay.
Yeah. But it doesn't feel like it's okay while you're doing it. And that was a real last minute thing as well, because the planned closing show sort of fell through. And I was like, we can't leave it with nothing. So I offered to sort of host that little bit for the slideshow and everything, and immediately regretted it. And I was like, oh my God.
But I think from my experience on OSnap, there are a lot of people that say no at first because of the camera, because they are not comfortable talking with the mic, things like that. But as soon as we start talking and having a conversation between friends, that drops really quickly. It's different to host a presentation and to do a podcast or an interview or something like this. Because, for instance, every time that you went on OSnap, we went way over
the time. I don't mind chatting and being here, but I don't like the formality of being the host.
I get it. So why did you have an interest on this before we started talking about it?
That's a good question. I didn't know it was an interview still.
Oh,
So
it's not. I know
you're
my answer, and I
sneaking
will
back
give
into
you.
all snap mode, aren't you?
Yeah, it's my natural state. I'm sorry.
Stop it. I can try and answer anyway, but I think it was actually, you know what? I sent you the video. It was that the Two Bears One Cave podcast.
Actually, you sent me the video after we started discussing. Yeah,
yes,
because,
it was.
Because we were discussing about the fact that this isn't a thing.
Yeah.
Virtual photographers don't have a podcast. Virtual photographers don't talk about virtual photography. We were talking about that. And our intentions of maybe doing this. And you sent me the video on the style.
That was it, yeah. Because, you were on about there being nothing sort of that fits this space. And I don't really watch very many. In fact, I don't watch that podcast, but I saw it as just a clip, that bit about the Kool-Aid. And it was so infectiously funny. I was like, this is the tone. Now, we can't commit to being an entertainment show here. I can't say that people are going to be going away in tears of joy and laughter.
I'm sure that as soon as we start reading analytics on the show, we will see that most of our audience are already dropped. As soon as we stopped talking, they were like, nope, bye.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay.
That'd be a shame.
I wanted to do this and on the style that you suggested with that video because, and during our rehearsals for this, we discussed this a little bit.
By rehearsals, you mean just the times that we messed up the recording?
Yes, so spectacular.
We've never rehearsed any of what we're saying, just trying to get the kit to work.
The tests.
Yeah, the
camera
is
tests,
good.
The sound tests, the tests, not rehearsals. English, I don't speak it, sorry. It's not my first language. So yeah, I touched on this topic. VPs have fun doing VP, but we are a serious bunch. We are not funny. And I think a podcast is a perfect opportunity to be funny and to have a few laughs together.
Yeah, it's the chance to sort of unwind a little bit and be a bit more relaxed about what we're doing. Because like you said, it's not that people do have fun doing it, but there's that temptation to take everything quite seriously and to always project the right image of yourself. I definitely do that through my accounts because it's building a brand as much as anything else. It's never been a personality account or anything like that. Jesus. So something just fell down.
Was it important? No.
Well,
that's
the
beauty of this. This won't be edited. This is on the show.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's another thing that I didn't want this to be about is extensive editing and time-consuming post-process, whatnot. This is just going to be an uncut, raw chat of whatever happens, I guess.
And since we are doing this countries away and from our homes, at any time, something can go like incredibly horrible in my house. Like my dog starts barking and we can control it. We are not in a studio, in a controlled space. I thought you were going to
come up with something a bit more horrible than your dog barking.
Oh, no, I don't want my house to get on fire.
Oh, well, do you know what? When do you remember the Manifold Garden?
Yeah.
The vinyl cover, right? The first live chat I had with Will Chire, and so he's in Chicago. So we did to get the times right, and I was just meeting him, and we were like, okay, going through the project idea. Then all of a sudden, power cut, and I was like, what's happened? And we had a lamp in the living room, which literally blew up, and it arced out of the plug. It burnt all of the actual plug, tripped out all the electrics in the entire house. And I was like, oh well, good job it didn't set on fire. But perfect timing. So,
That can happen here, and it will be on the episode, as long as your computer saves
there's
it.
nothing I can do about it either. I can. I don't. What? How would I ring the Portuguese emergency services?
It's not. I think they have a WhatsApp. I think.
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Okay. That's
Anyway.
a topic for another day.
So a good thing then, a good thing to cover is how we do know each other.
Yeah. So when I started VP, as many others, I came across your page and thought, it's a team.
Oh yeah, I
It's
still get
several people.
Yeah.
It was back when you were doing the Horizon Zero Dawn contest, the cut.
that. Okay, yeah, that was that was the one for the DLC, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
I remember that DP Dorf won that one.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that shot is one of the most iconic shots. Like, for me, it was like I was just starting out and I saw that and I was like, I want to be this someday. I want to do something this cool someday. And then
You're still waiting.
we yeah, it's never gonna happen. 4 years later, and I'm sure it's never gonna happen. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I'm going to have to live through. That kind of jokes and horrible
Dog
the
barking.
things I do for VP. But yeah, and then I don't think we interacted that much. We maybe once or twice, surely never on DMs. And I don't think I've ever told you this, but one day I was taking a bath and I remember, well, the Ford Focus, they did a photo mode contest for Horizon Zero Dawn, so maybe they have connections with Santa Monica. And God of War, the first anniversary, was right around the corner, so maybe I should send them a DM. This was all in the bath, and like 2 weeks after that, I still haven't sent you the DM. 2 weeks after, I was in the bath again, thinking about God of War again and what I should do for the anniversary, and I thought maybe I should really drop the DM to the Ford Focus. So what I did was that in the bath, the water's still running, I dry up my hands and shoot you a DM while taking the bath. Because I was sure that most of my good ideas come to me in the bath. Yeah, and they never become reality. So back then I took the initiative of, no, this is a good idea and I will execute it in the bath.
Good. So the two things I've learned there is what it was that motivated you to get in touch originally, but also that you get in the bath while it's still running.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah. Like you get in when it's not full yet.
Oh, okay. It's not a bath. It's a shower, like with the.
Oh.
See, this will be something. The English, the language barrier will be something that we will come in contact quite a bit.
Yeah. There is one particular, and it's not a language barrier, it's just a pronunciation, and I can't wait for it to come up. And I'm not going to tell you what it is.
It's context.
No, oh yeah, no,
Okay.
no, I do know that one. No, it's a funny one, and I'm not going to tell you.
We haven't decided. Can we cuss in this podcast?
Well, I mean that's up to you.
Okay.
If you feel more comfortable, then go for it. I won't be offended.
Let's check on our audience. So if you made it this far
Well done.
in the show,
Thank you.
in this episode, I won't cuss. I will try to not cuss. Drop a comment below and tell us if you are okay with me cussing or not. Okay? So this is a bit of what we call audience engagement.
Yeah.
Social media 101.
That's the best way to first get the audience engaged. Do you want me to swear at you or not?
Yeah. It's a proven thing that people like unless you are not okay with cussing at all. If you are okay with swearing, you would be more engaged with a speaker that also swears. It's a proven thing. So yeah.
I mean, it works to stand up, doesn't it? So
yeah, like I do most Sunday, most Saturday. No, never. Most Saturdays I'm on the Gametographers with Lam, and his content is very PG, so I don't swear at all. But a few months ago we were playing Fortnite, and I went like crazy with the swearing. Like, yeah, we had to apologize with the audience and all those things. So yeah, I'm trying to see what our audience wants from me.
Yeah, well, that ironically, without an audience yet, like literally nobody has seen this yet. So, but one day we will find out what's the enormous following. What would you call them? Is it what are you? Are you viewers? Are you listeners? Because where is this going to be? This is going to be on YouTube and
Spotify.
on Spotify, because Spotify now does video podcasts.
Let's just call it audience.
Audience is acceptable, yeah. So now, good use of English language. Well done.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not. I'm actually. I was actually really bad at English in school because I didn't know the grammar. I only knew like what I have is a large vocabulary because of TV shows and video games. But I never study the grammar at the point that I know how to really do it.
Yeah.
But now, since I work in an American company, I have to speak English all the time.
Yeah.
So it's getting better.
It's the only real way to properly learn a language is to need to use it, though.
Yeah.
You know, we did languages at school, and I can't remember anything. I tried to learn Japanese because I desperately want to. And it's so if you stop because you're not using it, it's gone again.
You should learn Portuguese, and we do one of these in Portuguese.
That's improbable.
Okay,
I'm realistic about it.
I had to learn English in order for us to make
not
this
for this.
Only for this.
Oh,
but
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
So you had a real foresight. You knew this was gonna you know.
It's prophecy.
Yeah.
About the how do you remember meeting me? I told you my story.
Yeah. I tend to duck out on answers like that. I liked the bit where you said we didn't really interact much. That's because I'm not overly sociable. I don't do the social part of social media very well. Not that I'm some sort of recluse. It's just not my thing. So I don't really talk to very many people on. If you come to me, then very great. I'm happy to chat and stuff. But I don't really be the one who goes to say hi. And that even, my mum will ring up. Hi, remember me? Like, yeah. Why would I not? What are you talking about?
It's a great feature. It's a great characteristic for someone that needs to reach out to partners for a award show every year to have.
Oh no, yeah, I can do that, but that's for a purpose. Okay. To say hi.
But socializing in social media it's for a purpose too.
Yeah, I'm just providing the content. Anyway, I can't really remember how much I knew of you before getting in touch to do the contest.
Oh, you followed me.
Did
you
I?
were following me already.
Yeah. You must have done something vaguely interesting. There wasn't many people to follow back then, though, was there? So,
That's the thing.
Like, a new one.
yeah. Back then it was like that. Oh, a new one. Follow.
Yeah, people would follow and follow back. Yeah, but you know, I mainly remember us starting to talk about doing that contest, and then it obviously came about, and from there on, I think we talked quite a bit. There was a period probably after that when, I don't know, I might have even muted you for a while. I'll be honest. It's possible, because like I was just like, here he is again.
I post
on everything, not to me.
I do post a lot, and I do back then. So back then, I had a job that allowed me to be on Twitter basically 24/7.
Well, you still are.
No, not you have no idea.
Yeah.
Like back then, it was the only time where I wasn't on Twitter was when I was sleeping. Like I know that right now I do post a lot, and I do talk a lot, but back then it was like times 10.
Yeah.
What I do today.
Yeah, it wasn't even like the type of things that you were ever posting. But I don't know if I did actually mute you, but I just remember having that slightly again, because you just be on everything and you think,
but
just
I've
down.
come across so many people that have told me that either they muted me or they thought about it or they unfollowed me because of that. I'm okay with it. I love social media, and I love Twitter is the best social media. I'm like, I didn't went on Twitter. Like, I created my account and I didn't went at all for 2 years. And then Spider-Man comes out, I post my picture, and I immediately, on my first post, get interactions. And I'm like, what? What is this? Is this what social media is supposed to be? And after that, I got hooked on that feeling. And I never... It's my addiction. I never stopped.
That's apparent.
Yeah. I know, it's apparent. But it worked.
It's fair play, to be honest. That's what it's there for. And I guess this will be a topic on one of the future shows, is what is the purpose of posting your content? What are you actually trying to achieve?
Remember the topic that I didn't want to tell you?
Yes, go on.
It's that one.
Oh, right. Oh, well, that's not for this episode. That will come about.
Yeah, it's not for this episode, but I want to talk about social media MVP and the relations. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll move away from that for now then. So let's go back to the beginning and back to Photomode Unplugged. I hope you enjoyed the intro, by the way. This was a 24-minute intro. 24 minutes? No. I mean the title screen.
Oh, that. Yeah, it's good, I guess.
Okay, so let us know in the comments what you thought of the title screen.
Are you engaging with the audience?
I might be, yes. They're over there.
What?
I can see them. So, where will the comments be? Can you comment on Spotify?
Spotify, probably not. On YouTube.
YouTube, definitely.
And our posts on Twitter. We don't have a Twitter or Instagram or whatever page. No. We just have Spotify and YouTube. For now, maybe. Yeah. So if you want to engage with us, engage on our posts.
Yeah, I guess we'll be Twitter. Sharing the link to this. We need those co-tweets. That would be the ideal way to announce them. But yeah, so... let us know what you think of the... you can let us know what you think of the name as well. Because the idea behind the name is an echo of the concept of it being this relaxed. You know, it is definitely a cliche, and it's meant to be a little cliche because sometimes cliche works, and this is one of those times.
Cliches are cliches, but cliches became a cliche for a reason, because at one point in time they were not a cliche. They were so good that people started.
And then they get misused or disused, and then they get picked up again. But would you like to look back at some of the alternate names? I think you would.
But I have to be honest, I don't think they were very good.
Well, let's see. So I wrote as well here. I did this in preparation that I knew we would end up doing this in the first episode. So I haven't looked at this list since we originally came up with the names. The rules, these were your rules. It had to be catchy, recognizable, and search engine optimized.
The social media guy in me.
Yes,
okay.
Well done. So we have, and this must be one of yours because it's a bad one. From controller to camera.
Okay, it's probably
it's not catchy.
I think that's based on an existing podcast, maybe. But yeah, I think that was mine. It's pretty bad.
That was never an option. We've got coffee and VP, which sounds a bit like coffee and TV.
And the thing is, that's a cliche and a bad one, because we are recording this at night and we are not drinking coffee.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to save the next one until later. It's another coffee related one, but I think it might need to be the last one. VP and chill. That was never. I was never going to go with that.
That was my suggestion, and I still think it's a good one. Because your thing back then was Netflix and chill.
What do you mean, my thing?
I never made that connection at all.
Oh, right, okay. That's exactly what I first thought of. I was like...
And when I was talking about the names of this podcast with my girlfriend, she also didn't realize the Netflix and chill in the name.
Okay.
She was like one of the... It was like when I started talking, she suggested VP and Shield, and I said, yeah, that was my idea too. So yeah, we both didn't think about
it. That's what it first made me think. I was just like, it's the wrong direction.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one, talking pictures. That's just not very interesting.
What?
I don't know. That might have been one of mine. I mean, because what I usually do when trying to come up with names of things is just explore words that are relevant. And it doesn't often work as a name itself, but you can rule things out at least and go, yeah, that just sounds terrible.
For a search engine, that would be a good name though, because maybe. It could be about many things.
Yeah, you'd pick up a lot of searches.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think this was one of mine I quite liked actually. It was Life in Photomode.
It was yours, and
there's kind of two ways to read it, isn't there? Like,
yeah, the thing about that one is also spoken. It seems very long.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's probably fewer characters than what we have got. Yeah, it is less. So Photomode Unplugged is the next one on the list, and that is longer than Life in Photomode. But there you go. Photomode Exposed. Well,
that was yours, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't think
I don't dislike that
exposing. One. Well, it depends on what you're
expecting. It's the Netflix and chill effect again.
Well, that and bit of a brown Mac, that kind of exposing. Shooting pixels. I mean, that's okay, but it's nothing to do with the podcast. It doesn't fit
that's
what we
the
were
problem.
doing.
I'm surprised no one no VP came up with that name for there.
Yeah, well, maybe they have done, but we've not followed them. Because I don't go looking, and you only follow big accounts, don't you? So.
I know that's not
I'm
true.
joking. I know. The post-process. So post-process, like that's what you do editing pictures. Yeah, okay.
That's a good one.
It is quite a good one because it's also like we're doing the sort of after show chat of like that. Yeah. Is it too late to change? It is too late to change.
Yeah. It's
this
about
one,
31 minutes too late to change.
Well, it's not gone live yet, but yeah, we'd have to edit out the bits where we say Photomode Unplugged and say...
yeah. A lot of times.
This could have been a good one. It's the Fourth Focus podcast featuring .pom.
No, but...
that was just to wind you up.
Someone in my life, I'm not sure if it was a friend or my girlfriend again, suggested the fourth pawn.
Oh no, it's some sort of hybrid.
Yeah, like a fusion kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be the right kind of fusion. I'm seeing like the Rat King from The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay, I'm not sure if we talked about this before, but to me it's like a Dragon Ball fusion, and you never seen Dragon Ball, right?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Yeah,
I've
talked
seen
about
the kids watch
that.
it now, but I've never originally. No. Yeah. Right. This last one. This is the penultimate one because I skipped one. But the last one on here, and this, if it's not already used, it really should be somewhere. It's just not relevant to VP or Photomode or anything. But just calling it this podcast, because welcome to this podcast. Today on this podcast. How is that not someone's? You're searching for it now, I can see.
Yeah, I can tell you that. Yeah, it that's the number one podcast that shows up is this podcast will kill you.
Yeah, but that's not it. That's not the same name. So anyway, we didn't use it because it's not really got any relevance to the topic. And then the one I left out is because it's kind of the cringiest play on words, and it's the coffee related one. And it was, are you ready for this?
It was your suggestion for sure.
You're correct. It was cappuccino.
Yeah.
It looks even worse written down.
But I can imagine the logo. I can just imagine the logo, and the branding would be cool, but the name is so bad.
But you've got to explore the options. So captured.
Yeah,
welcome
but it's
to
not
Captuccino.
search engine optimized.
No, it's definitely
and
not.
I can't say that word because I'm Portuguese.
Try. Go on.
Cappuccino. Cappuccino. Yeah. The Photomode Unplugged is the best name because it's a name that I can say.
Good. Yeah, and whether everyone else likes the name or not, it is the name, and there it is. It's gonna stay. The logo actually helped settle us on the name, I think. When we started
meshing,
plug in the D again. Yeah. It's a bit cheap. So what?
I really like the logos. Like we had a couple of dozens. Did it come to the 20 variants in colors and?
Oh, the colors, yeah. So I was getting Sam, my partner, to do these mainly because I am terrible when it comes to Adobe Illustrator, and we wanted them doing in vector graphics. She's good in Illustrator, and it stresses me out. So to stop me raging at Illustrator. And she's like, you never delegate any jobs. I said, all right, well, here you go. I've got a perfect job for you. So she did, she put the logos together and did all those color variants. And I do remember you saying, oh, I've got a real bias towards orange. So we did lots of orange variants. You're like, oh, I hate those orange ones.
That's okay. So my favorite color is green.
Okay.
Ever since I can remember, I tell everyone that my favorite color is green. I don't have anything in my life that is green. I just like the idea of green. So about that orange variation, ever since I got a new profile pic, I have been testing with yellows. And in my head, they look so much better than what they end up being. So yeah, I'm biased towards yellows in my head, but in factual
In reality, you hate
sense, I like white and black and white. That's my thing.
Oh, right. We didn't even try a black and white one, but that's because I wanted some color, but
yeah.
Anyway.
And I think we went with a good one.
Yeah, oh
shit.
I don't see a red light. Okay, pausing. Right.
So for the audience, what might be happening right now is that we are doing this in two different ways. Mine is a webcam, like smart people use, because you don't have to worry about power. Mick, on the other hand, is using a camera, a proper camera. It has better quality, for sure, but he has to worry about battery life. He turned some things off and is back. Are you back?
I couldn't hear what you were saying then, but I'm sure it was very derogatory. Yeah, that had stopped recording. It shouldn't have done, because I told you.
I told you.
You did.
To test it.
You did. That means I don't know how long has passed since we checked either.
The fun bit. Okay, so if this has stopped, we can go technical error.
I can just put a box in my screen. I'll still have the sound all the way. So I'll just put a box saying Mick will be back soon. As you will have now, by this point, you'll have already seen that box, because this is the point after I've fixed it.
We are pros at this. Clearly, we are really, really good at this.
I look forward to hearing what your explanation to the audience was. But essentially...
In a really short bit, is get a freaking webcam.
The camera's superior to a webcam, but for some reason...
it is, in terms of quality, by far. But for a podcast, this is enough.
This is troublesome. But that's because of the bloody FCC things that say any still camera is only allowed to record up to 29 minutes and 50 seconds. But I'm supposed to have hacked the thing now to disable that, and it didn't work. But you're right that I should have tested it, and I didn't. I'm
disappointed at you.
I'm disappointed in that, because I trusted it this time.
You never trust technology. You never do.
I know. Anyway, so swiftly moving on, we have one more topic for now, which is, as you will have seen from, well, at least from my preview, is that God of War Ragnarok is in the hands of reviewers. Just saying, including me. And has no photo mode.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It came as a shock to me that the game doesn't have a photo mode right now. We are not sure if it's going to be patched on day one or not. But I've seen a lot of chatter about this topic on Twitter, because of your post. And maybe it's to contain spoilers. There are
okay, I don't buy that. There's 3 or 4 potential explanations, isn't there? One, which this is the most unlikely, is that Santa Monica have decided that they don't want a photo mod anymore and have just done away with it.
I don't think that is... I can openly talk about this because so many of them have commented, but many developers said that they are excited to see my photos in Ragnarök, so that's not possible. And even on Discord, some of them have asked me to send them photos for them to show the team to get people excited about Ragnarök. So I don't think that's something that they will do, like move away completely. But let's pretend for a minute that that's the world we live in. What would your reaction be to that? Not like no photo mode in a AAA Sony game.
I mean, in this particular game, I'd still play the hell out of it because it's actually turns out it's really good. Who knew?
Shocker.
I'd be very surprised in any of the Sony studios, especially one that's already had a well-received and popular photo mode, to move away from it. Because having spoke even to PlayStation UK, for example, they themselves are really enthusiastic about the way photo mode and virtual photography is going, and they only want to build on it. So again, I don't think it's a possibility. So to see any PlayStation studio step away from it would be maybe a worry of a bigger shift in direction within Sony.
My whole identity on Twitter would just be lost.
Yeah, I just have to write the same reviews but without the photo mode bit, which is now what I have to do for how do I write the God of War review with no?
Can you, I have a question. As the reviewer, you focus on a feature, a really specific feature of the game. It's like someone reviewing only the accessibility options in the game. So let's pretend that it never comes out. Could you just contact PlayStation UK and say, well, it turns out you gave me a game without a photo mode, so I can't release that review?
You don't have to write just a review as such. I could write a game review. I can do that. But that's not my sphere of content, right? So I would probably just not write a review of the game, but I would write content around why this game should have a photo mode, things like that. And it doesn't. You're not giving it purely only to do a review and nothing more. You would simply return the content that you've provided from the use of that. It's coverage. You're still providing coverage. Yeah. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Because
there will be. We're fairly convinced that it's improbable at best that there won't be one. So the other options are that it has just been put on the back burner because they're not that interested and they'll add it in whenever. Again, I think that's similarly unlikely. The other one, maybe more interesting. Oh no, the one that you just said. Go on.
I remember that Cory Barlog in several interviews after the release of the 2018 game said that the two things that we regret the most not having on disc is the photo mode and New Game Plus.
Okay.
So again, I would be really surprised if this one doesn't have a photo mode in the future.
Yeah.
I'm certain they are working on it. Maybe they saw that it worked in the 2018 game, so they might do the same again, like release it afterwards.
Well, so this is touching on what you said before then, that it could be either deliberately delayed And the idea that it is delayed to limit spoilers, I don't buy into, because you can
VPs
still press.
are a happy bunch, and there are.
Yeah, but if people want to spoil the game, they don't go to the extent of composing a nice shot to do so. They're just gonna quickly capture the video or the screenshot and post it as quickly in as many places as they possibly can, because they want to spoil things. So the Photomode wouldn't stop that.
We had such a stressful weekend on the Santa Monica Discord trying to contain spoilers. Yeah.
The audience don't know that you are.
Oh yeah, I never.
We didn't do the personal introductions, which was supposed to be in the list.
I'm a moderator on the official Santa Monica Discord. I'm a Santa Monica volunteer.
Yep. Wow. I am not a volunteer on the Discord because I hate Discord channels because it's just chaos. I don't get it,
mate. Every single morning, I'm drinking my coffee and scrolling past like so many messages that
I don't understand it. What's the point? Anyway, so I'm not that. What I am is the creator of the fourthfocus.com, where I sometimes share galleries. I've kind of stopped doing that. I mostly write about games with photo mods, and I review them from the photographer's perspective. The idea there was to make it like half game review, half camera review. And yeah, I keep doing that, and it's working. So anyway, the point that they have deliberately withheld it, I don't think, certainly not for that reason. Maybe to allow people to enjoy the story. I still don't think so, because, just let people make their own mind up on that. So then that comes to the last option, which is probably now has been more than 4. But the last one is that there is an entirely new photo mode that simply isn't ready yet, and they are still working on it, which means we have new and exciting features to look forward to.
I think that's... So we have to be reminded of 2 things. Usually, when studios do a photo mode, they don't have a team dedicated to only the photo mode.
Yeah.
In the case of Santa Monica, it's the UI and accessibility team that are doing the photo mode. The UI part, from everything that we have seen so far, isn't that changed. But the accessibility part, it's the most... it's the game with the most accessibility options in history.
Yeah,
console-wise.
Oh, I don't know about in history, because Naughty Dog have done similar.
It has more. It has 84, and Naughty Dog on The Last of Us Part 1. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's on the 70s.
I might have counted the features, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm certain it has like the most of all time.
It's actually a really good direction, another good direction that the PlayStation studios have been going in, and they've all kind of been really upping the game on their accessibility stuff. And it's useful to everybody. I look through them all myself, and just certain things, even for VP purposes, there's certain things, there's slow motion in there. I
know you never played it.
Do you?
But there is an accessibility option in Ragnarök that is life-changing, the auto pickup. So in Red Dead Redemption, you have to keep pressing triangle to pick up stuff.
Oh, okay.
And if you get to a cabinet inside a house, it's like every single drawer.
Yeah.
You will have to press triangle. You have to press triangle again to pick up the things in the drawer. In Ragnarök, from everything that was announced, the auto pickup will be something that you approach something, it will auto pick up. and that's lovely. That's just like you don't have to press circle. Like imagine fighting the Valkyries, and you don't have to like take your hands off the buttons that you need to pick up the health.
Yeah.
It picks up by itself.
Yeah, in fairness, I usually get more in when I go for the health. I end up with less health because I get hit again. Like, oh. Well,
use it as a stun. Always use it as a stun.
Yeah,
so
that is helpful.
Shield up, wait for the enemies to come to you, then you pick it up, and it will create an explosion and stun the enemies.
Well,
so what I was saying is that they had their hands full with building so many accessibility options that maybe they don't want to half-ass the photo mode, and now they are creating like the same for photo mode as they did with the accessibility options, like a big bulky photo mode.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to make any assumption as to how much it'll have changed, but I do think it will have changed just because the game itself, I mean, it is a cross-platform game, but to me, it's a PS4 game. It plays like a PS4 game. The amount of the crawl spaces and everything are the real telltale.
Oh, our comments right now must be.
I'm sorry.
Up.
From what I've played of Ragnarok, it is an amazing game. I absolutely love it. But it's an amazing PS4 game that looks a bit better on PS5. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a PS4 game. And my point with that is that it's very closely related to God of War 2018. There's a lot of technology that's comparable between the two. The one-shot camera is back again. If they wanted to use the same photo mode, it would presumably be relatively straightforward to have that straight away in there. That could be in already.
It's the same game engine, so
exactly. So you would think that had they wanted something at launch, that could be there. The only reason to not do that is because you're bringing something significantly different and better that you don't want to like just totally switch it out, and that might look strange. So it's fingers crossed. I don't know. It might not be. I don't want to be disappointed, but I'm leaning towards it being something new and interesting. Will it have lighting? I don't know.
Would you replay the game if they added a photo mode after you finished the game?
Well, that's what I did with the original. In fact, I can't remember if on 2018 whether I just started again from where I'd got up to. I think I might have done. I'd got like 3/4 of the way through, and the photo mode came out like 3 weeks after the launch. And I was like, right, okay, I'm going to start a new game with it.
Was it that close to launch?
It was 3 weeks. It was like, yeah, maybe just after 3 weeks. But I did look at it not that long ago because I commented on it in one of the blog posts. So yeah, it feels longer when you're waiting. But as well, a lot of people had forgotten that it was ever not there. You know, like saying, oh my God, yeah, I didn't realize. And Death Stranding is another one that didn't have a photo mode at launch, and people
I remember,
always did.
I did so many landscape shots in Death Stranding because it was the only thing that you could.
Exactly. Snuggle up against a rock, get a bit of camera collision going on, because the landscapes look great anyway. But yeah, you soon forget. Once it arrives, you know, the wait is terrible, but once it's there, people forget that it was ever not there. I didn't
play it on. It was the only God of War. Okay, Ascension. I didn't play it either, but to be fair, that's their worst game. But it was the only mainline God of War that I didn't play on launch. It was the 2018 one, because I was like right in the middle of my postgrad, and I was traveling all over, and I didn't get the PS. I didn't have my PS4 with me, so I waited it, and then I only played it with the photo mode after Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because so is your favorite franchise in gaming?
No.
You know which one I've asked? I was going to say, is it Spider-Man?
It's not even... So, my favorite franchise is Dark Souls. My second favorite, if you count all their games,
Immortal Shell.
It's Dark Souls. So, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, that's my second favorite. God of War would be like the third, but we have Kingdom Hearts after that. Something that people don't realize, because most of them that have photo modes are really bad, is that I'm really into Japanese video games. Like, really into Japanese video games. And since they have a bad photo mode, I don't talk about them enough on Twitter.
Yeah, I do remember you've told me that before, actually. I think we've had the Final Fantasy discussion of which one's best, and obviously it's 8.
Obviously it's 9, but but like, I'm sure that you are in a really big minority.
No,
like,
8's magnificent. 8 is so good.
So bad.
What? Oh my word.
Compared to like the best in the series, it's really bad.
No, it isn't. But this is getting off topic, because there is no photo mode in Final Fantasy 8 or 9.
Oh yeah.
So, unplugged or otherwise, stop it. So, I don't know how long this is now.
We are like 3 minutes away to the hour, so yeah, this was perfect.
That'll do.
Perfect
I
timing.
think we should wrap up there, and we can see the extent of the damage that my Sony camera has, unfortunately.
Okay, so everyone, I hope you like the show. Once again, I'm Ruben. This is Mick. We are your hosts for Photomode Unplugged. This was the first episode. And please click the bells, like, subscribe, comment, everything. Please just do it. And for now, bye.
Bye.